Well, hello, everybody. It is I, Raul, your Wednesday gay. Um, First, let me start off by saying thank you for the really warm reception. Okay, this tent thing is not gonna really work. It's drooping. Okay, so Michael did one in a tent, and I want to do one in a tent too. So, okay, we'll just. I think the light I have in here is burning the. Oh my god, I smell burning. I think this tent blanket, is burning. Well, hopefully we can finish the blog before the house goes up in flames. As I was saying, thank you for the lovely reception and for the kind words on the video that I made and stuff. And I'm so happy that you received me so well. And Lord have mercy, you weren't kidding about it being hot under here. Good Lord, it's like a sauna. Jeez Louise. It still smells like burning. I swear to God, I'm just going to be a fireball of polyester. Well, whatever the hell this blanket is made out of. I don't know. It's some Target thing I bought. Anyway, as for topics, I really don't have much of one. I mean, I'll address some of the issues that, from past videos, since my Wednesday upload. Gino talked about public displays of affection. I'm not opposed to them. I mean, gay or straight. I mean, as long as you're not dry humping each other in public or something, and even that, whatever. If you're hot, I'll look. I did leave a comment on Gina's video. I once did slightly make out at a Denny's with another gentleman. I ain't proud of it. It kind of started quite sheepishly and innocent. We were sitting, having our meal, and he snatched my hat, which I usually hate with a passion when I'm wearing a hat and someone will walk up and snatch it off my head. You just have no idea how much I despise that. But, it was the first date, and he was, interesting looking. And I didn't want ugly bitch Raul to come out so soon, especially over a hat. And then he was all like, well, if you kiss me, I'll give you your hat back. And I was like, oh, Lord. And I really wanted my hat back. So it just started a little kiss. It was only a few minutes, and I could, you could tell the waitress was a little uncomfortable when she brought the food. And then there was a little group of young people sitting in the corner. Because then it was like 2 in the morning, it was empty. There was a group, oh my God, it is so hot in here. It feels like a sauna, and it smells like, I'm telling you, this light is making, I can smell it burning. But yeah, there was a group of young people sitting in the corner, and while they weren't heckling us or anything, they were kind of looking at us like, oh, what. And then he seemed to be getting off on it because when we went to pay, he was like, he turned back to the group and he was like, yes, making, gestures and stuff. And they weren't like heckling or anything. They were just like, they saw two fat making out, and they went, they're making their little comments on it, as would I. But I was the one paying, and then he was like, oh, come on, turn around. He was like signaling me to turn around and kind of join in the. He seems to be really getting off on the attention. I was kind of like, look, it's bad enough I made out at a Denny's. I'm not exactly going to turn around to people and start, heckling them. But yeah. What else we got? Friday's topic. Yeah, because Friday... sorry, I just had breakfast. But yeah, David and Mike were talking about... what was it they were talking about? I'm so lost. Well, I guess young people and how different it is now as opposed to back then, and how this poor boy got shot because he was gay. I always felt bad for the really... Because in school I was teased a little bit. Well, a little bit. I look back on it, and it's a little bit. When I was in it, I'm sure it seemed like a lot. But there were some people who just, the overly effeminate boys. God bless them, for they are the true trailblazers. But I just saw some of these poor boys just got, their butts kicked just because of, because they held their books up here instead of holding them, down there. And although no one would be shocked if if I say, hey, I'm a big homo. But I managed, all right, like I have a half brother who is 18 now, and he came out of the closet when he was 14. I was like, of course, I met him when he was 17, because, that's a long story that I should save for another video. But yeah, I met him when he was 17, so I basically met him a little over a year ago. Almost 2 years ago. Because he's going to be 19 soon. But he was telling me him and his mama, who was not my mama, because we have the same daddy. He came out of the closet and he was like 14, and she was telling me like she knew what was coming on the road like when he was about 11 or 12. So by the time he was 14, I was like, yeah, okay. And it's a very accepting household, which is like, oh my god. And he's had at 18, he's had like a bunch of boyfriends, and it's like I can't even imagine. Don't get me wrong, if I were 18 now, I would be the biggest whore. Oh my god. But it's like, I don't even remember. I didn't even go out with a guy until I was in college. And I never really developed a crush on another guy until college. Don't get me wrong, I like looking at pretty pictures in magazines. But that was about it. Now for sure, I mean, if it were now, I would have gone with a guy to the prom. Back then, that wouldn't not only would that not have been an option, but it's like, it wouldn't have even occurred to me that I could do that. And we're talking what? I graduated in 92. We're in 08, so do the math. But yeah. Anything else? It's kind of hot. Oh, I did want to talk about something. It's completely random and unrelated to anything. Absolutely nothing. But, I was having a discussion with some people because I'm a big fan of GPS. That thing you put in your car and it tells you where to go, and it gives you the option of whether to listen to a male voice or a female voice giving you directions. And a lot of people have different, preferences, but the joke is that most men don't like a female voice telling them what to do, because a man, is all about directions, and a man doesn't need directions, and blah blah blah, and yada yada. And I prefer the male voice to the female voice. But let me explain why. That female voice is kind of bitchy. The male voice is kind of like, well, turn left here, turn right at, 8th Street, turn... Fine. I swear to God, that female voice, that heifer, has attitude and tone in her voice when she gives me directions. And God forbid I go past my designated turn. When she tells me to make a U-turn, and I cannot believe the phone is ringing at this early in the morning, but whatever. When she asks me to make a U-turn, there is like definite sass in her voice. It's like, turn the fuck around. Well, she doesn't say fuck, but it's like, you get the gist. I don't like her attitude. I just had to get that off my chest. So if you have GPS, leave a comment as to whether you like a boy voice or a girl voice. I may do a video with GPS. We'll see. Anyway, this has been Raul Lara, your Wednesday gay. See you next week.